it was a while later. Between the last time my father saw the submarine and to when he stopped hunting great white sharks was a couple of months, and in between there he caught several great white sharks. But he only targeted the big ones. You know, if a small great white shark came along, like anything under 4 meters, he just pulled the bait out the water. So it was huge in the media. I mean, all the newspapers, television. I mean, I remember headline articles. Monster shark tows false bait boat was my dad's boat. Two out to get the submarine. Anti-submarine warfare in false bait. It grabbed the public's attention. Almost every week, my father was in the newspapers about his hunts and exploits with these great white sharks. He became this, I don't know, whatever. You know, bigger than, he was always larger than life, but hunting these great white sharks put him on a different thing. He became really larger than life. And, you know, they even made cartoons, you know, like cartoons where this little boat and this huge great white shark and that kind of thing in the newspapers. So one day my dad goes out, and I was on the boat that day, and it was myself and my father, and it was either Rodney or Trevor Grant. I can't remember actually, but I think it was Trevor. It was Trevor Grant, and we went out there and we hooked about a 4-meter great white shark. And in fact, it was a bit of a weird contest going on between my father and another guy called Stefan Skuman. And that day, Stefan didn't catch a great white shark, but we did. And we dragged this poor animal back to shore after fighting it in. And we got to Gordons Bay Harbour. Now, Gordons Bay Harbour is a very small harbour. So it's a cute little harbour with little yachts and powerboats. You know, it's quaint. And every Saturday afternoon and Sunday, there's lots of people there, and they're fishing off the dock, and there's little beach there where kids are swimming, and across, just over the breakwater, there's another little beach called Bikini Beach. There's beautiful white smear of sand. All the beautiful people go there on a Sunday and a Saturday afternoon to tan themselves. And we brought the shark in. Now, we had towed the shark for 8 or 9 miles. So according to what normally happens, the shark is done. You know, it's either hardly alive or it's dead. And we came into the harbour, drifted into the harbour, and of course every time we came towing a huge great white shark into the harbour, everybody was there. Hundreds of people would walk down the dock and they would crowd around. It was massive. I mean, everybody wanted to see the shark, and everybody wanted to take photographs. It was a huge thing. So we come in there, and there's a little dock where we normally tie the boat up, and then we tie the boat up, and the shark's in the water. Take the rope off. We take the boat trailer, we reverse it down into the water, and we actually pull the shark up on the boat trailer, and then we pull the shark up out the water on the boat trailer. Now you can take all your pictures and then take the jaw out, all that bullshit, and off you go. So we came cruising in, and my father throttled back, and there's hundreds of people over there on the dock watching. Throttles back, and the boat comes to a halt like that, and suddenly the back of the boat's like, whole back of the boat's bouncing around in the water like this, and we're like, what's going on? And we look around, and this shark that's supposed to be dead is going mad. It's rolling and thrashing and diving, and it's just causing mayhem, man. Little beach day people are running out the water, and people on the shore are gassed, and we don't know what to do. You know, the shark is still completely alive. It's fighting for its life like you cannot believe. So Arthur Ridgway, or Art, he was there that day. So he's right there, and he shouts to my dad, and don't worry, in my pickup I've got a harpoon, I've got a lance, relax. And he runs away, passes his way through the crowd, he runs away, and he comes running down again with this big harpoon, and obviously by that time everybody just clears the freaking way, and he gets to the end of the dock, and he shouts to my dad, listen, just draw the shark past the dock like this, and I'm going to stab it, I'll stab it to death. So that's what we do, we go in a circle like that, and while we're towing the shark can't really fight. But as soon as we stop, the shark goes mad. So we towed around in a big circle like that. And as we come past the dock, Arthur starts stabbing the shark with this lance, right in the gills, out the gills. There's blood everywhere. And as he stabs the poor shark, the shark is rolling and thrashing and biting at the air. You know, it's trying to kill something that's trying to kill it, just like that. And we go around like that. It's a big trail of blood. And we come back, and people on the shore are gasped, and little children are crying. And it's like a Jaws thing, like Jaws movie. And We bring it past again, and he stabs the shark again, but the shark won't die. It refuses to die. It just refuses. The shark says, fuck you guys. You know, I'm not dying. I'm going to put up a fight to the end. And that's really what it did. So then Arthur says, don't worry, I got a gun. And he pushes his way through the crowd again, and he runs up to his pickup, and he comes down with a 38 millimeter, 38 special revolver. And when he comes running down the dock with that, everybody just fucking clears the way. And he's going to pass through there. And as we come past, he passes it to my father. No, I grabbed the gun from him, and we drove the shark out the harbour. And we idled forward very slowly, and my father took the gun, and he shot that shark in the head 6 times. Bah, 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 bah. Bah. And obviously it's something that was important, because the shark settled in the water by that time. And it was shocking. You know, we had to shoot and butcher this poor great white shark to death. And we drew it back into the harbour, put the trailer in, we took it out of the water, pulled it up onto the slipway. And by that time, everybody was all excited again. They didn't care about the bullets and stuff. They just wanted to see this great white shark. They wanted to touch public enemy number 1. And I didn't notice it then, but I thought about it afterwards. My father went and stood one side. And before that, my father was always there, standing there posing for the picture. He went and stood one side. He was very quiet. And of course, we cut the jaws out, and then some fish shop came and took the carcass away and all the rest of it. And that night, actually, my father was strange. He was in his own world. And I went up to him and I said, Dad, what's wrong? And he looked at me like this and he said, my boy, I'm not hunting great white sharks anymore. I said, why? He said, no. He said, I never realized until today that those are animals that want to live. They want to live. And that shark fought to the end to live today. And we murdered that shark today. And I'm not going to catch another great white shark. I'll never do it again. And he stuck to it. It was the last great white shark my father ever caught, ever hunted. That was it. Done. And yeah, then the story gets a lot more interesting than this. But yeah, that was it. He hung up his hooks and he stuck to his word. And from that day on, he actually turned his whole attention to conserving great white sharks, to protecting them. I don't think my father realized how much he admired these animals. He saw them as his greatest, not nemesis, his opponent. He saw them as this, because he's a fisherman, he loved fishing, so the great white shark was the greatest opponent. But then that day he realized that it's not an opponent, it's a beautiful, beautiful animal that will fight to the bitter end for its life, and it's intelligent. So that was it. That was the last great white shark we ever caught. And like I say, the rest of the story gets very, very interesting, but you're going to have to wait for that, unfortunately, because, yeah, hold your breath.